Here is the thing. Nobody tells you about making images with Claude. Claude does not have an image generator. There is no hidden paintbrush. Ask it for a photograph and it will politely tell you it cannot do that. And yet, almost every visual my agency ships starts inside Claude. So in the next 8 minutes, I am going to show you 5 ways to pull real images out of it, from the easiest to the one that actually changed how I work. First, you have to change what you are asking for. Every other tool paints. It guesses at pixels until something looks close enough. Claude does not paint. Claude builds. It writes the instructions that draw the image, then hands you the file. That sounds like a limitation. For business visuals, it is the opposite. A painted image is a flat guess. A built image is exact, editable, and repeatable at any size. Method 1 is where that starts. Ask Claude for an SVG and it will write vector graphics that render right there in the chat. Icons, logo concepts, flowcharts, org charts, process diagrams, comparison graphics, anything built from shapes, lines, and text. Here is why this beats an image generator for that job. Image models are notoriously bad at text inside images. Ask one for a diagram with 6 labels and you get gibberish. Claude writes the labels as actual text, so they are always correct, always spelled right, and always sharp. And because it is vector, you can blow it up to billboard size and nothing softens. Try this exact prompt. Build me an SVG process diagram showing the 5 steps a lead takes from first click to booked call. Dark background, 1 accent color. You will have a usable graphic in about 20 seconds. Method 2 is the one people miss completely. Claude can write and run code. That means it can produce actual image files. Real PNGs and JPGs you download, not just something that renders in a browser tab. Ask it to build you a quote card. It writes the script, runs it, and hands you the file. Now here is the leverage. Give it a list of 30 quotes and ask for 30 cards. Same layout, same brand colors, same font, 30 files, 1 request. That is a month of social graphics from a single message. Same trick works for charts from your own data. Upload a spreadsheet of your ad performance and ask for a clean branded chart. It reads the numbers, draws the chart, gives you the file. No exporting from a dashboard that looks like a dashboard. This is batch production. It is boring and it is the highest return use of the 5. Method 3 is Claude Design. This is a separate surface where you describe what you want and Claude builds the layout live on a canvas. Slides, landing page mockups, one-pagers, prototypes you can click through. You are not dragging boxes. You are talking. Make the headline bigger. Move the testimonial above the fold. Try it in dark mode. It rebuilds each time. Where this earns its place is speed of approval. You can put a real-looking mock-up in front of a client or a partner in the time it takes to write the brief. Nobody has to imagine it. One honest limit. This builds layouts and interfaces, not photographs. If you need a person holding a product on a beach, design is not the tool. Which brings us to the one you have been waiting for. Method 4. If you want actual photorealistic images inside Claude, you connect one. Claude supports something called MCP. Think of it as a port. You plug a tool in, and Claude can now operate that tool for you. Plug in an image generation service, and the answer to "Can Claude make images?" becomes yes. You ask in plain English. Claude writes the prompt, calls the model, and the picture comes back in the conversation. Why bother when you could just open that tool directly? Because of what happens around it. Claude already knows your brand, your offer, and the piece of copy you are writing. So you say, draft the ad copy, then generate the hero image to match. It writes both. You say, make the lighting warmer and move the product left. It regenerates. Copy and visual stay in one thread instead of 4 tabs and a lot of copy pasting. That is the real unlock, not the image. The loop. Method 5 is the one I use most. and it does not produce a single image. Claude can see. Upload any image and it will tell you exactly what is in it. So, take an ad you wish you had made. Upload it. Ask Claude to break it down into a generation prompt. Lighting setup, camera angle, lens, depth of field, color grade, composition, mood. It hands you a paragraph. Paste that into whatever image tool you use, and you are 90% of the way to that look, without ever guessing at prompt words. Do it once, and you have a prompt. Do it across 10 ads in your niche, and you have a prompt library that matches what is already working in your market. Claude is not the paintbrush here. It is the art director telling the paintbrush what to do. That is a better job for it anyway. Put those together, and here is what one workflow looks like. Upload 3 ads that are working in your market. Claude reverse engineers the visual formula. It writes ad copy against your offer. It calls the connected image model to generate the hero shot. It builds the landing page mockup in design. Then it batch produces the 12 social cards that support the campaign as real files. One conversation, one afternoon. No designer in the loop until you actually need one. Claude not having an image generator turned out to be the least interesting fact about it. If you want the prompt library I use for this, it is linked below. It is free. Next one is on the system these visuals actually feed into.